I would love to have that one compact, it's all right here story that takes into account the natural beauty, the outdoor activities, the arts writ large, the visual arts, the performing arts. I often think that people who aren't from here or haven't been here don't appreciate and understand and have maybe a stereotype view of what it's like and what the population is like. If we could capture all that on one little thumb drive and I could just send it to those people, that would be great.
And greetings, everyone, and welcome to Buzz for Good, where we talk all things nonprofit, the people they serve, and the good they do. And what does ballet have to do with big business? That is the question we are asking on today's Buzz for Good as we explore the role the arts play in stimulating a city's economic development efforts. We will be talking to Mike Friedlander, who leads the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute at Virginia Tech, Olivia King, manager of Mast General, Roanoke's Economic Development Director, Marc Nelson, and many others on today's show. And we are going to preview the work that we've been doing on our TV show Buzz in partnership with the Roanoke Cultural Endowment in providing economic development leaders more resources to better market Roanoke's burgeoning art scene to potential developers and employers. But first, I am Michael Hemphill, creator and host of the TV show Buzz that airs on Blue Ridge PBS, featuring nonprofit organizations. And on the show, we provide the nonprofits with pro bono marketing makeovers to help them attract more donors, volunteers, and clients to their cause. We have produced 31 episodes to date, and you can go to our website, buzzforgood.com. That's buzz, B-U-Z-Z, 4good.com, or our YouTube channel at Buzz for Good to watch these episodes. We are currently working on episode 32, which airs June 21st on Blue Ridge PBS, featuring the arts and economic development in Roanoke. Mark your calendars for a free watch party at 5 Points Music Sanctuary that evening. More info at buzzforgood.com. Episode 33, which is also under production, stars the YMCA of Virginia's Blue Ridge. It airs June 28th on Blue Ridge PBS, and we will be hosting a sneak peek watch party at the Grandin Theater on June 26th. Again, more information on our website, buzzforgood.com. I want to thank our sponsors, Freedom First, where people bank for good. That's freedomfirst.com, as well as the Roanoke Cultural Endowment, which is working to provide a long-term funding solution for Roanoke's arts and cultural organizations, roanokeculturalendowment.org, and Partners in Financial Planning, a Southwest Virginia-based financial management firm, partnersinfinancialplanning.com. Now, back to today's show. Economic development folks often talk up a community's quality of life when pitching new businesses. But somewhere in that mushy mix, they may mention the local arts and culture scene, the symphony, art museum, playhouse, and so on. But on the stage of economic development, what role does art really play? The following are clips from my interviews with a variety of city leaders and entrepreneurs around this very question, starting with Roanoke's two officials who are at the forefront of this very question: Arts and Cultural Coordinator Douglas Jackson and Director of Economic Development Marc Nelson.
I'm Douglas Jackson, the Arts and Cultural Coordinator for the City of Roanoke, Virginia.
My name is Marc Nelson, and I am the Economic Development Director for the City of Roanoke.
So we're working really to see how the arts are connecting us all across the community, whether it's arts through education, community wellness, economic development. We're working with property owners on painting new murals. We're working with arts and cultural organizations to work together to do more together. We're working with individual artists to make an impact on the neighborhood or the community around them, kind of the whole spectrum.
Well, I think one of the things that we can truly present to everyone is the balance that we have. When you look at great places like this, we have a burgeoning arts economy and a burgeoning arts scene. We also have a lot of balance. We have a great manufacturing sector. We have great schools. We have access to universities. We have a burgeoning innovation sector as well. So I think we have a very balanced economy and a very balanced region. And that's not something that you see in a lot of places. And it is a big selling point for a lot of folks. One of the things that we really need to do to be able to sell the community is to get people here. Once they come and they see it, and they spend time here, they're amazed by what they see. It's sometimes, though, it's overcoming what they may have seen or heard or not seen or heard of the city or the region, and once they get here, they really love it.
Arts are a critical component in community development. And if we're going to have lasting economic development, that really has to be built on the foundation of a strong community. And the arts can play a critical role. When you think about the economy, it has ebbs and flows, ups and downs. We know that industry changes across the world. And if we're going to be resilient to that, we've got to have a strong foundation. And I think the arts can help us build that foundation by helping us connect to each other, kind of build that muscle memory of what it's like to work together. They can connect us to this place. And if we're committed to the place, we can use the creativity that we have to make the most of our assets and create a strong community around us. That means job creation, it means attracting businesses, it means building our own businesses from scratch through entrepreneurship. And the arts can be a part of that and are a part of that every step of the way.
The arts are vitally important for me in one way, in that my wife works at the art museum, and so, but that's always been a driving factor, both in her life and our relationship. I mean, and when you look at the larger community, people will not come to a place now that does not have a burgeoning art scene. And one of the things that we have not done well in the past is we've not tied the arts into our economic development efforts. It's just not something that has been focused on before, because the traditional approach to economic development has been attraction, retention, expansion. It's been focused primarily on the business and not the lives people lead when they're outside of their businesses. So one of the key things that something like this does, and Doug Jackson's office does, is it ties all those things together. And that's really important, because I think people will come to a place for a job, but they'll stay because of the culture.
Well, I feel like the creative economy is how we put our fingerprint on the world around us. It can mean starting a business as a food-based business, a brewer. It could be starting a business in creating art or craft that you're selling to your neighbors. It reflects the place. It's unique and specific to where it's created. The creative economy can be a foundation. If we think that we live in a community where we can make a difference, where we can create something, that's a real position of strength. Not every community, not every person in the community necessarily feels that naturally, and the arts are a way to help us get in there and do it and prove it to ourselves. So the creative economy really is a mindset. How are we making the most of our assets and doing the most together?
You know, we have a staff of 9. They have either been here for a while or they're from here. They are involved in all kinds of things in the art scene, whether it's music or art itself, or what you traditionally think of art or music or entrepreneurship. They're involved in all those different angles. And the reason I say that is because with videos like this, you know, we're starting to craft that approach. It's not something we've done previously before. So our people who have a real passion for the place and for the arts can tie the two together as we build that foundation.
We have a mantra. This year we've called it the Year of the Artist, and one of our mantras is a quote by Angela Davis, and she says, "In my mind, art can make us feel what we don't necessarily understand." So I would get them engaged, get them out to a place like this on a Wednesday night where they've got a maker's market and it's vibrant, there's music playing. We've got to feel what it feels like to connect in an authentic way. That's going to make us commit to a place. I think we'd use the arts to help people feel what it feels like to be in Roanoke.
As economic developers, we have to think of that broad spectrum, because we do have such a balanced economy, and it's important to think about each of those people as you go out and reach out to them. Traditionally, we have focused on, expansion, retention. Those are things that we did well. When you look around downtown and some of the neighborhoods, we did a lot of great things with redevelopment of property, but our city council and our community has placed a priority on really reaching out to entrepreneurs and reaching all ends of the spectrum, not just the big businesses, but the smaller ones as well. And that's where the arts ties in, because I think arts and culture appeal to all of those different groups.
Yeah, I think quality of life can be like a nebulous term. It can mean everything in a way, and it's very specific to individuals. And the quality of life that the city of Roanoke offers has got to be and is very specific to Roanoke. We've got to be ourselves, and that includes the arts, it includes the outdoors, it includes a connection between neighbors. And if we can help people feel that, then we're going to really show that quality of life. We're going to help people feel what it feels like to be of a place, to belong to a place, and that way they'll commit to a place.
I think one of the things that'd be helpful for us, and Doug's doing a great job on this already, is finding a way to tangibly tie in the arts into how we do things. We are now at the point where city management and city council has given us the opportunity to start doing more traction, to start focusing on that strategy. And as we do that, it would be great to weave the arts in, because it is such an important seller to a lot of people when they come here.
Well, we think of economic development often as attracting industry. We think about retention of industry, but we have to think about the creation of businesses as well. So smaller scale entrepreneurship, building businesses from scratch, has got to be part of our recipe here in Roanoke.
Love like this. It's like one building at a time. It's not like, coming in and doing entire blocks. So even though like the old industrial park is going to be something big, but I mean, it's, all the arts collected, one gallery here, renovating this building, repurposing this building, Wasina, one building at a time. It's incremental at times.
Yeah, incremental is a terrific word. We need investment at every scale. So yeah, we want to celebrate the large investments when acres and acres are redeveloped, but we also want to celebrate smaller scale investment where it's one small building that can be an anchor in a neighborhood that we know has been vibrant in the past and can be vibrant again, and can be a place that is home to a new business and home to someone's dream.
One of the things that we have noticed that in the past we focused on specific things, retention, expansion, and we did those things really well. But what we really wanted to do is, we were sitting in a meeting with Doug and with you and some other folks, and we came to the realization that, the question was asked, what are you doing to weave the arts into your traction efforts? And the thought is, we really haven't focused on that before. It's not something traditionally our office has done or the city's focused on. So that's why something like this is important, because it starts to bring this thing that everyone, I don't care where you're coming from, everyone is concerned about arts and culture. It's a chance and an opportunity as we build a strategy for attraction to weave that into what we do.
Again, that was Roanoke Economic Development Director Marc Nelson and Arts and Cultural Coordinator Douglas Jackson talking about the ways that art and economic development intersect in Roanoke. Next is my conversation with a man who leads perhaps the biggest economic driver in Southwest Virginia, a man who is also extraordinarily passionate about Roanoke's arts and cultural organizations, and that is Mike Friedlander of the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute at Virginia Tech.
I'm Mike Friedlander. I'm the Executive Director of the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute at VTC. I also serve as Virginia Tech's Vice President for Health Sciences and Technology and as the Senior Dean for Research at the Virginia Tech Hurlian School of Medicine. The Fralin Biomedical Research Institute is just what its name says. It's an organization or a unit of Virginia Tech that is committed to and dedicated to making major discoveries and advancements in the biomedical and health science space. So it's first and fundamentally a research enterprise, although we do participate in education and training and community outreach as well. Research is essentially our mission. We've been in existence about 13 years now. We started out with one employee, that would have been me. Now we have over 600 employees, students, staff, faculty. That's centered around approximately 40 teams of researchers, each one led by a faculty member who's been recruited to the area. And those researchers are phenomenally successful, them and the students that work with them, their staffs. They currently hold research grant portfolios valued at close to $200 million. And these are funds that they bring in from outside federal agencies, foundations, etc., to support the research they're doing here. So it's been a pretty fast rise in growth. Well, I think without the Research Institute, things would be progressing more slowly. When I got here in 2010, it was a downtime for the economy nationwide, as it was here, of course, in Southwest Virginia and in Roanoke, and some industries had left or downsized. Things weren't looking particularly promising all over. So I think the timing was great and that we were able to add to the growth of the community and help move it back on that positive trajectory. So, not to brag, because I think it's a community participatory event, but to say on behalf of the community that I've now embraced and my wife and I and our workers love and want to see it succeed, I think we've been able to add in a substantial way to the ongoing growth and vibrancy of the community. Yeah, well, I'm a scientist, so first and foremost, I think about science. So the question about what role the arts and culture played in bringing me here may seem a little strange because I'm coming for the science in the university, but it was important, and it is important. I knew right away coming here I was going to have to convince lots of other people to come here from other places, major cities, leading universities from throughout the United States and across the world. And the arts are an extremely important part of the lives of scientists as well. Most people, I think, don't know that. For example, some scientists I've recruited here are very involved with the theater. And so the Mill Mountain Theater is a great asset in the community. They do lots of things with them. Others are very interested in music. Either they themselves play an instrument, they have family members that do, they have a partner who's involved with music. And so engagement with the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra has been very important for us. David Wiley and his group have actually performed at a number of scientific events that we have. The opera in Roanoke is an attraction, and then the visual arts, the Taubman Art Museum, the local community that's so rich in art, even individuals in neighborhoods where we have fairs and festivals and so forth. I talk to people about that all the time when I'm recruiting them, and whether it's them or their family members, it's a really important ingredient in the mix. Without it, we would not be nearly as successful. So both myself and my wife, Sandra, are very, very involved and supportive of the Jefferson Center, the programs that they do with young people in terms of developing their musical talents and so forth. That's something that's very, very important to us. In addition, the community youth programs that they have here in Roanoke are things that we're very involved in supporting. And then the Taubman Art Museum, it's something we love and just feel it's an incredible asset for this community. My wife is very involved with the Garden Club here in the community. Well, many people may not think of that as the visual arts, but she's up there in Mill Mountain working with them and designing and putting in gardens and so forth. So it's part of the natural beauty that are the arts. And then within the community itself, the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra, we're very supportive of that. We've been very involved with them and supporting David Wiley in that program. So those are the few things that are very close to our hearts personally, but also I think you could get the same answer from many of the people that work at the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute as well. So we are also very much involved with the Science Museum. I have served on the board of the Science Museum. The Mill Mountain Theater, as I mentioned, a number of our faculty are involved with the Mill Mountain Theater, even involved with hosting the actors when they come into town to rehearse for a production. We were just at Jersey Boys last week or so, watching a wonderful production there. And so we try to support that as much as possible. When I'm recruiting people, one of the first things I say when they ask me what Roanoke is like, I say, look, Roanoke's a small city, but it's a city. It truly is a city. And as a city, it has these incredibly vibrant arts, the art museum, the symphony, the opera, etc. And you can find all those things here. And I'm not just selling that, we're living it. We do that all the time, and I share that with people that we're trying to recruit, and they know we're being genuine about it. I think Roanoke needs the thumb drive. I've talked about this before. A simple, one-stop go-to place that captures the beauty, the vibrancy, the essence of the sort of things we're talking about here that we can share with people we're talking to. When I speak to people on the West Coast of the United States or New England or wherever it might be, or in Europe for that matter, and I tell them we're in Roanoke, I often get a aware, and people who just aren't familiar with Virginia. They don't even necessarily know the name of the city, or maybe they've heard it, but they can't really find it on the map. And so I tell them as much as I can about it. I send them links and so forth. I would love to have that one compact, it's all right here story that takes into account the natural beauty, the outdoor activities, the arts writ large, the visual arts, the performing arts, the universities in the community, in the area, the academic culture, and the businesses, and more than that, the richness, vitality, and diversity of the population. I often think that people who aren't from here or haven't been here don't appreciate and understand and have maybe a stereotyped view of what it's like and what the population is like. If we could capture all that on one little thumb drive and I could just send it to those people, that would be great.
Once again, that was Mike Friedlander from the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute at Virginia Tech, sharing his commitment to the arts as a force for economic development in Roanoke. And here is Olivia King, who manages one of Roanoke's biggest recruitment economic driver successes of the past decade, Mast General.
I'm Olivia King, the general manager of the Mast General store in Roanoke. Well, we are in the tradition truly of a general store. We have something for everybody, from the 8-month-old to the 80-year-old. Probably our most popular department is our candy by the pound. We have old-fashioned candy you can buy by the pound. We have a mercantile department with jams and jellies and home goods, men's and women's fashion, and we've got a great outdoor department with outdoor hiking, camping gear, boots for hikes, and a great knife shop as well. We opened in June of 2020. We were all set to open in early April, and then the pandemic came and shut everything down. We were just a week away from opening, so we put it on pause for about 6 weeks, and then we're finally able to open the doors.
Talk about the role that art and cultural organizations like General play in the decision.
Yeah, in general, we look at the overall arts community, because if you've got a growing arts community, that generally means that economically the community is going to be doing well. Yeah. We partner with several different arts organizations here in Roanoke. We sponsor the Grandin Theater, Mill Mountain Theater, Jefferson Center. So we like to play a role with those community partners as well as other nonprofits that we work with.
And is that just to support them, or how does that relationship in turn support Mast General also?
Yes, it's a very symbiotic relationship. Definitely, it's good for both parties when we sponsor the arts. Definitely, a thriving arts community is important to us, and it's good for the overall well-being of the community. We have a regional department here at the store where we feature the items made in Roanoke, such as jewelry, honey, soaps and lotions, candles, all made locally. We, in all of our communities, try to find some local artisans to bring into our stores, because, again, that helps them and it helps us as well. People are looking for those products. Our guests want to see those products, and it's a good way for them to get exposure.
Now, economic development comes in all shapes and sizes, from the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute and Mast General to neighborhood coffee shops like R&D Coffee in Wasena, or art galleries like the Roanoke Arts Collective in downtown Roanoke, and Roanoke's newest furniture store, Texture. And here are my conversations with people affiliated with those three companies.
Yeah, my name's Quincy Randolph. I am a co-owner of R&D Coffee, which is a local specialty coffee shop and roastery here in Roanoke, Virginia. So R&D Coffee was founded in 2019 by my brother and I. Actually, Stefan Randolph is the official founder. We started as like a grassroots organization doing pop-ups at farmers markets, craft shows, things of that nature, and then finally opened a brick and mortar. Yeah, we've grown quite rapidly, I would say. Still want to grow faster, but we have another brick and mortar location in the town of Vinton, and we've also branched into, specialty stores such as Mast General, Earth Fare, Crystal Springs Grocery, selling our whole bean coffee. Well, I would say art has really impacted what we're doing here. we're a gathering space for everybody, but especially we connect with creatives. So pretty much all of our art on our walls is from local artists here in the area at both locations. We've had local artists paint our buildings, collaborate on murals, things of that nature. So we get a lot of community support, but we get a lot of support from the artist community specifically, and then we also try to give back to said community. I think art is extremely important in the work that we're doing. Like, I myself would not call myself an artist, but I call myself a creative. And I think that kind of mindset, the looking for, unique perspectives or being able to communicate in a very, unique style is paramount to having a diverse and forward-thinking culture and community as well. I think R&D Coffee has impacted the art scene of Roanoke by, one, being a place where, artists of all shapes, sizes, anything can gather and communicate, Again, we've been very fortunate to meet a lot of local artists, collaborate with them. I also think we've helped facilitate, a lot of artist events, whether it's, markets for artists to grow and get their work, whether it's just through supporting artists. I think it takes a critical mass of both artists and creative thinkers to be in a space at one time for arts to grow in an area, and I think we are the kind of business and we hire the kind of staff and operate in a way that helps foster that growth.
And how does this art, lastly, how is this art attracting new business?
The art in the area and the art that R&D helps create, I think it attracts new businesses in a lot of ways. I think each kind of upcoming generation continues to be more, creative and artistically driven, and by both, creating a hub for them where they feel welcome and also inspiring, it makes them more likely to, branch out to open their own business or to, try to do more artist business collaborations or trying to intertwine, the arts into traditional capitalism more, which I think is beneficial for everybody involved, honestly, because supporting the arts and making it both profitable for artists and businesses is really how arts can kind of thrive in an economic setting.
Art is cool.
Art is very cool, and we need to protect and support the arts. Well, I think, while large-scale economic growth is important by bringing in, corporations or hospitals who have, millions or billions in resources. I think having local small business growth is extremely beneficial just for a community, but also for the arts. I mean, I could kind of go through the books with you if you want and show you, it's people have supported us and we've in turn supported this artist this way, and, maybe it's only $50 for their artwork here, or, maybe it's just, hey, this person has hung up a piece of art in our building, and in turn they've gained two more, people who've bought larger projects from them. Just the small-scale supporting of the arts through business, I think, impacts people in the day-to-day more, A large business coming in and bringing 3,000 jobs to an area, very important. But also a coffee shop or a craft market pop-up that supports 15 to 20 of your local artists, important in a different way, but still equally as important.
I'm Rachel Markwood. I'm part of Alexander Heath Gallery in downtown Roanoke. We're part of the Downtown Roanoke Arts Collective, and right now we're in Left of Center, which is the old Woolworth building in downtown Roanoke. So the Downtown Roanoke Arts Collective started about a year ago. It's a grant offered through the city, and 8 galleries are part of the Downtown Roanoke Arts Collective. So we have these little pamphlets which have our map. So you're featured on this. You get a flag for your gallery, and what it does is, on First Fridays, it brings a lot of people downtown, and they tour and go to different art exhibits and see different shows. So 8 different shows. What's great about it is it brings a lot of business to downtown Roanoke. A lot of restaurants, it's a popular night. They'll go eat afterwards, stop and have drinks along the way. All right, so we're in the old Woolworth building in downtown Roanoke. They left of center, came here, and opened up their gallery in 2019. We are Alexander Heath, and we renovated the old Bush Flora building. I say Bush Flora because it had a giant shoe sign on it, and most people know that landmark. We began renovation in 2020, so that was real fun, and we just finished in July of last year, 2022. So, but we're further down on Campbell for 8 years prior to that. But the old Bush Flora building was a condemned building. It is 3 floors total and nothing. It was just falling apart. So it really helped the city by building that back up and making it into something pretty.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, not only something pretty, but just something that's actually now providing
usable,
usable tax revenue.
Exactly. Yes. So I think it's on First Fridays. Typically weekends, people travel. There's Hotel Roanoke where people can stay and they can walk down to the galleries. There's some new hotels. There's some cool Airbnbs. Texture just started an Airbnb. So, and they know the galleries. We have Texture Furniture in our gallery, and I believe that they send people to us when they're looking for something to do during the weekend on a travel. They can come see the galleries, especially seeing we have a map to show exactly where each one of them are. First Fridays, when we feature a new artist, those artists have a lot of family members from elsewhere, and usually they stay somewhere in downtown Roanoke. They're eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're staying at a hotel. Typically, we send them to a local place downtown, Airbnbs, Hotel Roanoke, Texture. It's bringing people into downtown and to Roanoke, and people love it. They're exploring. They're falling in love with Roanoke. They're realizing Roanoke. People think of Roanoke as something small, especially with bigger cities around us. They don't think Roanoke has that much to offer. But when they're here and they see that what we have, they really fall in love with it. Several of my coworkers, the guy that actually runs the gallery with me, is from upstate New York. He came down to Roanoke, fell in love with it, and has been a big part of it ever since.
Sure. My name is Nick Wachetta. I'm the Director of Sales for Texture. Texture is a custom-made, made-to-order furniture manufacturer, and we are in our flagship gallery here in Fire Station 1, where we also harbor stock, our bistro, and Fire Station 1 boutique hotel upstairs. Sure. I think that Texture is essentially a collection of artists. When people think about art, sometimes they think about it in its most straightforward manifestation, but when people think about someone sitting down to create a beautiful image, they might think about a painter and not an engineer thinking about the aesthetic of a chair. When they think about someone bringing order and harmony to a bunch of moving parts, they might think about a conductor and not a plant manager. When they think about a collage artist, they might think about a collage artist and not an interior decorator. And so we are a big collection of artists. We just kind of move beyond things that hang on the wall, and we try to create amazing products. Art harbors a creativity in people that, again, it can manifest in that straightforward way, like painting and sculpture, and then it can move beyond into product. But if you think about common artists, it creates a type of vibrancy that it's just directly important to tourism. Our hotel upstairs, we're right in the heart of downtown, and we get lots and lots of tourists coming through the space. Lots of people from Richmond and Charlotte and DC. And that art and the appreciation of simply viewing art is a tourist draw. But again, there's this kind of emerging culture that kind of orbits it as well. Just, I don't know, fun eateries and different venues. There's certainly a synergy that comes from that hipness that art, I don't know, helps bloom. I think something our company focuses on tremendously is, again, just superficial beauty almost. There's something that beauty and design bring to a quality of life. Again, what we do is try to make beautiful chairs. We try to make beautiful dishes in venues for eating. We try to make beautiful rooms upstairs. But there's all sorts of companies and all sorts of craftspeople and all sorts of artists all around Roanoke who over the last few years I think have been particularly energized. And again, that culture of aesthetic, and texture. I know that's the name of our company, but there's something more to it. There's something more tactile to it too. And there's just a lot of folks in this area who have become, again, energized and strategic about making life in Roanoke more full, and art certainly contributes to that. We have tons of local and regional painters throughout the space. We have Cindy Padeschi, Amanda Marco, Sarah Trundle. We also have local ceramicists, Aisha Devine. We carry East Fork. We carry Deep Black. And so we do try and bring those other craftsmen throughout the entire space. So every single hotel room has a piece of local art.
So those are my conversations with a variety of folks involved in Roanoke's economic development scene. Now, for our TV show Buzz that is starring arts and economic development and will be airing June 21st on Blue Ridge PBS, we have invited in the local marketing agency Lead Point Digital to provide Roanoke's economic development department with some marketing resources around the arts and cultural scene here in Roanoke. And so here is my conversation with Carrie Cousins and Sarah Wardle-Jones, both with Lead Point Digital, about the things that they are doing to prepare to present to Roanoke's economic development leaders.
Well, Carrie, Sarah, thank you all again for coming on to Buzz and helping another, not really a nonprofit in this case, more like featuring all the nonprofits in Roanoke and how they help with economic development. And so I know we kind of asked you guys, how could we best give the Department of Economic Development, some tools and assets to help showcase all the great arts and cultural organizations in Roanoke. And where are we so far?
So what we came up with is a multi-pronged plan. So we're going to have a landing page on the website which highlights all of the arts amenities available. We're going to have a brochure that can be printed or put in PDF format.
Nice.
A card that's talking points that we can actually give all the arts partners to actually spread the message far and wide. And then we're going to package all of this stuff onto a flash drive. So when you're out and about, when you're traveling and you're talking to people outside of Roanoke, if they want to know, you've got it all in a handy dandy little package. It fits in your suitcase that you can hand out.
So Sarah, you kind of bring something special to this project because you are a musician. You're a flautist in the Alma Ensemble. You've worked for the Roanoke Symphony, and here you are now working on featuring arts and cultural organizations for economic development. What have you been working on as part of this?
Yeah, this was such a great project to work on. I'm really passionate about the arts in Roanoke. And so my role in this project was to tell the story of the arts industry as a whole and how to meld the great creative work that happens in this community with the numbers and the data. And the numbers are really impressive. The arts in Roanoke is extremely strong, both from just a creative perspective, but also from an economic development point of view.
And so you're kind of messaging that, packaging that so that the city then has just even more tools to share that story.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So we are super excited to package all this together and get ready to show it to the city and all of the arts organizations in the area and really be able to amplify our story to both businesses and individuals looking to relocate here and make this their home.
I'm excited too. Thanks so much.
Now, in addition to the great work that Lead Point Digital is doing for the city, we also thought it would be a cool idea if we could help perhaps create a music video around all of the arts and cultural organizations in Roanoke. And to that end, we invited in Brian Hancock and J.P. Powell, who are two local entrepreneurs as well as accomplished musicians, to compose an original song highlighting Roanoke's arts scene. And now to hear and see this collaboration, you will have to tune into our TV show Buzz on June 21st on Blue Ridge PBS. But once again, here are their observations about art in Roanoke and the opportunity to work together to provide more buzz for their beloved city.
Hello, my name is Brian Harvest Black Hancock. Black is spelled B-L-A-Q-U-E. I'm a hip-hop performer, spoken word artist, host, and I do a few things.
Hi, I'm J.P. Powell. I'm a restaurateur and musician who resides here in Roanoke, Virginia.
I've lived here my whole life, so I'm happy to have people to be receptive to what I do, but I also enjoy the arts in this area. I'm from here, so I might as well make it better, right? We can't win anywhere else if we're not winning in our own backyard. So it's important to make this place just build and connect and continue to do what we love and bring those passions to the forefront. We need it, definitely.
One really cool thing about Roanoke is that for a city our size, we have a wonderful arts and culture, kind of situation going on, and how that feeds into businesses and downtown living and just general progress for our city. It's integral. It's very important. In the restaurants, I see it all the time. When we have something going on downtown, a concert or a theater performance, people come out and they eat at the restaurants. So. They feed off one another, for sure.
The arts, they show you things that we don't necessarily get to see every day. It takes us out of our comfort zones, and it expands our horizons, and those things are important.
And how does that translate to making Roanoke just a cool place to own a business?
It goes hand in hand. You have different people, and it's important to get out of our boxes and generalizations and really genuinely see what we're about and how we can lift each other up, especially businesses pairing with different artists, especially if it's music. It's important that we tap into the artists that are here because we have genuine treasures as far as different types of sounds, and it's important to nourish those spirits, and so they can go out and say, hey, this is the place where I got my start,
Well, I was approached to hey, would I like to collaborate and create a song that kind of was like yay Roanoke, we have a lot of stuff going on here. And then I was introduced to Brian, and who we'd never met. And I personally enjoy collaborating like that. I like being kind of thrown to the wolves, so to speak, in terms of artistic motivation and intention. And so I love meeting someone new, and then learning from them, and then hopefully bringing something to the table, and then the collaboration between the two. So it was an exciting opportunity for me to be able to work on this.
It was great working with JP. You guys, put us together. And, I didn't know who he was until we had that first initial meeting. But it was kind of like those two kids in the lunchroom the first day of junior high or something. It's like, hey, you got the peanut butter sandwich and I got the jelly. Let's put those things together and let's make a sandwich, or, we could trade lunches or something like that. So after it was over, we did have a very genuine kinship, and I like to call him friend. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I don't know. I met Brian, and the first thing we did was just kind of talk about who we were and what our backgrounds were and what our musical experiences were. And we just kind of loosely, he's a very easygoing person, and we have similar personalities, I would say, and dispositions. And so we were like, okay, what is Roanoke? Well, it's kind of a hodgepodge of a lot of things. So, we're trying to include elements from different backgrounds and cultures, and bring our experience to it, and just, it's like we didn't have any set, the song has to be a rap song or a rock song or a bluegrass song. We just wanted to kind of make something that we felt was representative and positive for Roanoke. And we didn't really have an ending point in mind. It was like, hey, let's just get started. I think I was like, Brian, what's the tempo? And he was like, I like 90, right? I think that was the tempo. And, 90 beats per minute. And then, okay, well, I've got a hook idea. And so we had this, it's here, right here. I was like, that's a nice hook. And so I came up with a chord progression for it. And we just kind of went from there. And, it was kind of back and forth until you end up with a song that's hopefully, interesting and representative of Roanoke. So
it's important to have the different flavors of art just kind of enhance everybody's experiences and to evolve us with purpose and to find out what we are, because we all have something to give. We all have a gift. And so it's important to use those gifts, especially with the arts, to heal, to teach, and to identify our champions in the room that we like. I didn't know who JP was before this, but now he's like one of those champions. I can say, hey, this collaboration went well. Let's collaborate more. I want to make more music, and I think that's what we intend to do. So definitely.
I think one of the cool things about this, for me personally, is again being able to work with someone who I wouldn't have been able to work with before. So the song, in a way, is trying to highlight the diversity in the Roanoke art scene and how important it is to Roanoke being a cooler, better city. But by the physical process of having to make this song, it brought two people together who have enjoyed working with each other. So it had a very real-world kind of positive consequences, I would say, if that makes sense. So I got, I think, more from this song than I gave to it, if that makes sense.
JP, you're cool, quiet as a mouse sometimes, but you run things and you do it real well. I know that didn't rhyme. I just want to say that you're swell. Everything that you spit and say was being yourself. And that's what you're teaching me to do, to get out of my comfort zone and make moves with you. And that's all I got.
So once again, that was Brian Hancock and JP Powell, who have collaborated on an original song that we are turning into a music video that will be part of our June 21st episode of Buzz, starring the arts and economic development. Stay tuned to that project on our website, buzzforgood.com, as well as our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, all at Buzz for Good. So while we've been working on that episode number 32, there's also episode 33 that we've been developing, and that's starring the YMCA of Virginia's Blue Ridge. That episode will air on June 28th on Blue Ridge PBS. There will be a sneak peek watch party June 26th at the Grandin Theater, so tune into our website for more information about that. We recently got to present, or we recently had the opportunity to present about a 10-minute segment of that show to some leaders of the Y for their consideration. They loved it. It's more focusing on all the great things that the Y does besides just their wellness programs. And so here is some audio clips from that short piece that we have created.
Well, one of the things Christians think about is helping others.
It's the Y is it's a vernacular. I mean, everybody says that, and you know what you're talking about. And it's not an exclusionary. If anything, it's just the opposite of that.
One of the things that I like about the Y, in addition to all of the programs that they offer for young people, is the fact that when I walk through the door, it is a melting pot, truly. You meet people from all walks of life.
I have been in church all my life, and I've always been able to help other people, although I come up from a meager beginning. But once I have been able to help others, that is my thing to do. I do the same thing with the church as well as with the YMCA.
It's important what we do in wellness. It's life-changing for people, and it's a huge piece of our mission, but what we are is so much more than that. That's really what my heart says the YMCA is about. Wellness is just a piece of that.
My name is Ann Nguyen, and I've been a member of the Y for 11 years, and I'd love to come here.
My name is Amor Hives, and I'm from here, Roanoke. I've been coming to the Y for the last over 5 years, and I just love coming here every day.
When I retired from Allstate for 30 years of service, all my friends said that you're gonna be so bored. You're not gonna like retirement, But when I found the Y, I just love it.
I exercise. Before I was going to the pool, and we do have the class, Forever Fit class with Sarah. She is wonderful.
I love the classes. I love all my teachers, Sarah, Leah. The class have been helping me a lot, with the arthritis and everything. So the class have been awesome for us, and the staff. Everybody know me by name, and I appreciate that.
We are here. We have this active older adult lunch for everybody, adult over 50 years old, and we just enjoy the fellowship with one another. The food is great.
Because some of my friends cannot cook anymore. They even a little bit older than me.
It's just awesome to see the people and enjoying everybody and socializing. That's my middle name, socialize.
So the luncheon is really help us to come, eat together, and talk and socialize together, and even bring us together even more than in class. So that's why we love the AOA luncheon. Yes.
And it's great feeling to be involved and to be a part of a group that cares so much for each other.
Really a savior of my life, and we love to come to the Y every day. Yeah.
My name is Matt Reedy. I'm the Senior Director of the Kirk Family YMCA, part of YMCA of Virginia's Blue Ridge. Today we're about to run Y Splash. It's a large program we run in partnership with the local city and county school systems through Roanoke City Schools, Roanoke County Schools, Botetourt County Schools, and Salem City Schools. And we service over 3,000 second graders throughout the association. And it's a great learn to swim program that we offer at no cost to any of the second grade students. So drowning is actually one of the top 2 leading causes of accidental death for children up to the age of 15. In addition to that, 18% of the population here in Roanoke lives below the poverty line, and drowning rates among minorities are up to 4 times higher than among Caucasian. And we have roughly 50% of the population here in Roanoke is of minority descent. And on top of that, people that live in poverty don't have access to pools oftentimes. So what we have in this locality is a major access problem. But we have bodies of water around the city and county that these kids are around every day. And so they're around water, but they don't have the tools necessary to keep them safe. You put all that together, and that's really why we're offering Y Splash. It's drowning prevention, drowning water awareness, and education. And just by taking part in the Y Splash program, kids will be up to 88% less likely to experience a drowning. And we're able to offer this program free of charge to the students, mainly in large part due to donations and volunteers. But what we do at the end of Y Splash, anyone that fails their swim test, we give them a swim test at the end of the program. Anybody that fails that swim test, we offer 8 free swim lessons. And so those children come, they take lessons here, and by the end of the 8 weeks, most of them can pass their swim test at that point. A lot of them, 30% of the kids that have taken lessons at this particular location, I'm sure it's pretty similar across our other locations, actually ended up joining our swim lesson program, and a few have gone on to swim team. So, that just kind of fits into the whole thing that we in aquatics believe that swimming is a life skill, it's a lifetime sport. You can do it well into your senior years, and it's something that is very, very important that you should learn early in life. Because it's the only sport that can save your child's life. But we love that we get that conversion from just coming here, first time seeing a pool, taking part in the program, and then joining swim lessons and actually keeping that as a life skill.
My name is Anthony Workman. I'm one of the 3 instructors here, Beacon instructors for the Beacon program. The Beacon is an after-school program at James Madison and Lucy Addison Middle Schools. But one of the things we try to do is to give them an opportunity to have something to do outside of the school day, to keep the children out of possible gang violence. Northwest Roanoke has a history of gang violence. We try to provide them an opportunity to get away from that and to have, an activity outside of the school that's fun and enriching their lives at the same time. For example, we have people that come out and do yoga with them. We also have people that come out and do science, different types of cultural activities. We're planning a trip next week to take them to Roanoke College, to introduce them to a college and to get them thinking about going to college early on. And that's part of what Beacon is about. We have about 80 children between the ages of 11 through 13. 8th graders are getting ready to go to high school. We've actually been helping them this year learn how to fill out job applications, and it's paid through donations. There's no cost to the parent at all. It's an enhancement program, and it's enhancing the lives of our children here.
I'm Betty Scheidler, and I'm the kitchen instructor and senior membership rep with the Gainesboro YMCA. The Little Chefs program's been running for a number of years. It's a cooking class and gardening for children that are 5 to 12 years old, and we've got some of the children here with us today. The goal of the program really is to teach children where produce comes from, that there's a farmer or somebody that's working. You don't just go to the grocery store. Teaches them nutrition. They do cook with the produce that they grow. So they're learning about composting and nature. And we are actually turning our garden now into a multicultural garden. And so we have things like bok choy and kametsuna, which is a type of spinach that's grown in Japan. We will have okra a little bit later, which a lot of North Americans have used, and in Africa. We have some carrots from Europe. They just really have a great time eating all the produce from the Gainesboro garden.
My name is Andrea Burney. I'm the Wellness Director here at Kirk. And today we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary for Rise 540. So I started because we had a lot of gun violence that was going on last summer in the neighborhoods, and I pretty much was just trying to think of a safe space for the teens to be. So pretty much it just started with maybe just have some games for them here at the Y and have some fun here. And with some donations that we've been given, we have been able to take them on hikes. We've been able to take them, like this year is our 1-year anniversary, so we're going skating. And in the summertime, we're going to be able to take them to King's Dominion for the whole day. And this is all free to them. They don't have to pay for anything. We provide transportation, feed them, all of that. And they're able to just like hang out and be themselves and run around here and just have fun once a month.
So my name is Janaea Gillette. I am a 15-year-old in 10th grade.
My name's Asette Drakeford and I'm 13. My favorite thing about coming to 540 is like I get to hang out with a bunch of different people. People around my age, people who are a little bit older than me, and people who have similar interests with me.
My name's Damian Wetzel and I'm 13 years old, so go ahead.
My name is Carmelo Scott and I'm 12 years old.
Yeah. At the skate center, it's Mario night, so you dress up as Mario. So a big group of people, we're gonna all dress up as characters from that. So that's gonna be fun, yeah.
I ain't get to dress nobody because nobody told me.
But it's still gonna be fun though.
I'm a very antisocial person, so I never really talk to people much. But coming to Rise 540, I was able to meet a lot of kids who are exactly like me. I feel like they understand me, and I'm having lots of fun meeting new people and going different places with them. Snowboarding, I did a game night and learned how to make pizza.
Go. You go.
Go.
I'm gonna go.
My name's Jada and I'm 14. And what I like about here is they have fun things here and get me out the house.
Go.
My name is Maria Gravely. I'm 12 years old. The only thing I like here is swimming and playing basketball and running around the track with my friends. Yeah.
I like how he did it. He's like, he's something professional.
I'm Paris, I'm 13, and what I like about 540 is like there's good people here and it's fun, and it gets me out of the house when I'm in trouble too.
All right, one more time. That was from our upcoming episode on the YMCA of Virginia's Blue Ridge, which will air June 28th on Blue Ridge PBS. That will be a week following our June 21st episode starring the arts and economic development. More about those episodes on our website, buzzforgood.com, or our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, all at Buzz for Good. That will do it for today's show. I hope you continue being a Buzz for Good in your communities, and we will see you next week. Bye now.